Hi, Tanya from Created Health, Nutrition and Fitness. For those of you that are not aware, I am a clinical nutritionalist dietitian and I am also a personal trainer. And this week with my ladies indoor fitness classes, we are doing a lot of balancing exercises which we know are really important for fall prevention. And as we get older, the muscles that are associated with our balance and that support us with not falling are the muscles that actually get weaker as we get older. Like all muscles get weaker as we get older, but because these little stabilizing muscles within the body are a small muscle group, they waste away at a faster rate than our larger muscle groups, and that's why it's really important to be training these muscles and doing lots of balancing work to prevent falls. So I thought it was really interesting that I was doing that with my fitness side of my business. So I have both the fitness side and the nutritional side, and I work synergistically with that. So when my clients come to see me, yes, they're coming to see me for their health concerns, so I am addressing their nutritional concerns, but I am also concerned about their physical activity as well, because we know that our exercise and lifestyle underpin and support our dietary intake for our overall health and well-being, and a lot can be done by using a three-pronged approach. So getting back to balance and fall prevention, I thought this was quite interesting to look at what the research had to say about this. So I found a paper that's called Association of Fall Risk Increasing Drugs with Falls in Generally Healthy Older Adults. And this was a 3-year observational study. It was done by Do Health Trials. And if you want to look at Do Health, they do a lot of health and well-being research and studies and trials, which are always very interesting. And this particular study that they were doing, they were looking at what they call community dwelling people. So these are people that are active people that live in their own homes and live independently in their own homes. So they're not nursing homes or people that are hospitalized or needing assistance. The criteria was over 64 and the average age was actually 74, and they did 2 arms of this study. One study they had over 154,000 people participate, but the main one that I wanted to talk about was a more a smaller group of people. That was 2,157 people for this one, and it was a 3-year study. The larger population study was also done over a 3-year period, but it was more convoluted with what it included and didn't include. But what we do know is as we age, it is not uncommon for us to be put on certain medications, and there are a lot of medications that are associated with falls, and what we have found is people that are on these certain medications are more susceptible to falling. And then this research looked at how often they fall, how serious the injuries were with the falls, and they then looked at different drug groups. So they looked at everyday sort of drugs that people take that as we get older that are needed. I'm just trying to scroll through this research to find which drugs they were on, because it was quite an extensive range of drugs. Oh, can't scroll. But what they found with this research, they did find that there definitely was a connection between taking certain drugs and the incidence of falls, and then the seriousness of, like the frequency of the falls that were happening, and the injuries, as far as the severity of the injuries were also increased with these medications. So the medications that were used were medications like antipsychotics, opioids, antidepressants, anticholinergics, anti-epileptics, diuretic, alpha blockers, antihypertensives, prostate hyplasia, antihistamines, vasodilators, that are used for cardiac disease drugs, and also urinary incontinence and overactive bladder drugs. So there was quite a lot. All your benzos were also included in this research. And so not only did they find that these sort of drugs that are predominantly given to our older population were causing people to lose balance and then increase their frequency and seriousness of their falls, but they also found that people that were what is known as polypharmacy, where you're taking multiple drugs, they found that the more medications people were on, the greater their fall frequency and the greater the injury of the falls were. And these were actually really interesting, because they were calling them fall risk increasing drugs. So they do know that there are certain drugs out there that increase your chances of having falls, and obviously the more of these drugs that we are on, the more the greater the risk of having falls. So there are things that you can do. There are from a exercise point of view, doing lots of balancing type of exercises and doing them on a regular basis, and challenging your body and activating those stabilizing muscles in the body as often as you can, because we know the more often we activate and engage those muscles, the stronger those muscles become, but also the pathways, the neurological pathways from the brain down to those muscles get activated more often, and therefore those pathways to those muscles are strengthened, and therefore we are able to regain balance. But if you are interested in learning how to do some stabilizing exercises and fall prevention exercises, reach out to me. If you are currently on medications and you're wanting to increase your health and your well-being, reach out to me, because nutritionally we know that there are so many things that we can incorporate to support our health and our well-being, whether it's our bladder health, our blood pressure, our cardiovascular disease, our immune system, our mental well-being. So much can be done for our health and our wellness from a nutritional point of view and lifestyle point of view and exercise point of view, which will decrease the chances of us needing to go on these medications, or even decrease the strength of these medications. But if you are currently on any of these sorts of medications, it is a good idea to check in with your doctor often and get them reassessed, because sometimes we find initially we need to be on this drug, but we may not need to be on it long term as well, and that's a discussion that you would need to have with your doctor in regards to teetering the dosage of your medication. Or sometimes we find some medications can actually are no longer needed and can be removed from that repertoire of medications. So hopefully this has helped you, because remember, at the end of the day, your health is your wealth. So you need to be mindful of what you are doing, body, mind, spirit, on a regular basis, because what we do regularly will impact our lifestyle and our health long term as well. So I'm Tanya from Created Health, Nutrition and Fitness.